Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Yeah, it's me, the Bizarre Alien, and here's another episode of Beyond the podcast of 1984. I started recording this episode, and then I recorded over it. Saw a Men at Work video I haven't seen in years. One of my favorite songs. Who can it be now? So, plus, the episode kind of sucked anyways, you know. So hopefully this one's not going to. Hopefully I'm not going to be recording over this. But if I do, you won't know because I'll have recorded over it. I'm still here. It's kind of zoned out. It's, what is it? It's like a little past 1 a.m. If you've been listening to this, yeah, this is, what was this? This is technically, I think, the 13th episode. And by this time, I'll have already sent my SD card to Tim. You know, and I mentioned Tim, he's my quote-unquote producer. Well, technically is because when I record these episodes, I'm going to send them to him. I was sending them this weekend. Finally, I was sending the SD card. I can't even, I can't even get to the point. Anyways, it's a new episode here. What have I been up to? What have you been up to? I've just been up to the usual. Definitely feel a little bit better than the last episode I did. I still had those like dry coughs, you know, but I'd like to say I'm feeling a lot better, but actually I haven't been feeling a lot better. Last few days I've been really, really tired. Too much starch, man. I'm supposed to be cutting down on a lot of stuff, and I don't know, I'm not doing very good. I'm trying to eat better, but I've been broke. I need to go back to the doctors. I'm supposed to be going to talk about my hypertension with my heart, and then, my high blood pressure, and then also my stage 2 diabetes, which I'm taking my medicine every day. It's just taking my vitamins, all that stuff, man. I've just been really tired. I've been eating way too much food before I go to sleep, which I'm not supposed to be doing. I don't think anybody is really supposed to be doing that. So what's the point of this episode? It's just me being me. So actually, I'm not going to feel bad anymore. Because that's what a podcast is. A lot of podcasts, you get podcasts talking about true crime, podcasts talking about cooking, whatever, Hey, mine's just about blah, 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 whatever, man. And I'm kind of getting tired of, I keep saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to get to the point, concise and blah, blah, blah. Who cares if I don't, man? I've been watching a lot of Married with Children again lately, so I'm kind of inspired by Al Bundy. Pardon me. Just doing my own freaking thing, having fun, and I don't know. I haven't been feeling very creative lately. I have been playing my guitar a lot. That's always fun. That's kind of creative, trying to learn stuff. I really haven't been doing much of anything. I actually tried to start on a new comic book the other night, and ended up ripping the page up. It was crap, and the art sucked. It was just crap. I tried to draw on a picture of Ginger. It looked like crap. I trashed it. The only picture I kept was this monster that I started drawing. I don't know, I might redo it, but I don't know, man. It's like the older I get, I'm getting more jaded, When I was younger, I was really inspired to do stuff. I used to write a lot of letters. I was on the phone a lot, talking to friends. I was constantly recording. I was doing a zine. I was doing a comic book at the same time, too. I used to do, Destroy the World fanzine, and then I was also doing Xenomorph comics. And, I'm still doing stuff. I don't know. I shouldn't really say that I'm not doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing maybe kind of a little bit more than I was for a while. I still jam, but I don't record my noise, really, very occasionally. I don't know, a lot of technology just doesn't make sense to me. People are like, oh, it's real simple. It's like, yeah, maybe for you. I just can't catch on, man. So I got to say, doing this podcast is actually inspiring because at least it's something I can do, And this weekend I'm sending this SD card off finally. Of course, people won't even know about that. They're like, oh, because, you're not here with me seeing me do it. But I'm going to be sending it off, a bunch of other stuff to Tim. I've got a Blu-ray. It's going to be coming out sometime this year. So right now I'm writing down, what he asked me, like write down what you think needs edited. Because a couple of short films that I did back in 92 and 96. Death Wears Black and A Beautiful Day. And they're pretty horrible. They're really bad. They're low budget, shot on video, shot on VHS. But you know what? I'm kind of proud of them. And believe me, I've got movies that in my collection that I think are worse, and I'm not kidding. I'm not saying that just to make myself feel better, but and some of these movies are actually out, like, by these semi-big companies, which is funny. But at the same time, it's cool because I'm glad that there's a lot of weird underground, super low budget, lo-fi, movies. And some people can argue, oh, those are movies. Well, maybe not to you. I really love shot on video. Big fan of shot on video. I already talked about found footage, but to me, found footage is almost like kind of like the next step in, the extremely low budget. A lot of it's horror, which I appreciate. I think horror is the best for like shot on video and found footage films. But anyhow, so I mean, can't say I haven't been creative at all. I'm doing that. I already wrote, I got to rewrite it so it just makes more sense because I don't make sense for A Beautiful Day, which stars my buddy Adam from Moth, Smart Frog, and Root Map, Difficulties. Tim's in it. He shows up, and then I quote unquote directed it, and I use that term very loosely, and I play a couple different characters. Pretty horrible acting, but it's fun, Got some music on there by Fossil Fuel and the Hedgehog Orchestra, which was a pretty horrible band that Adam and I did a long, long time ago. And hopefully one of these days we'll get our 90-minute cassette out on CD. I think I have a CD at home. I don't know where I put it. I got to find it. And I think the files are on it. I don't know. I'm so unorganized, man. And a lot of this show is just about, I'm talking about my life. I'm talking about stuff that I'm into. God, see, I can't even think straight, and I get frustrated. I don't know. Sometimes I think I've got like ADHD or whatever. I don't know. Do I? Maybe I do. I don't know. I've never, been checked for that. But I just think it's funny that nowadays you get all these things. Oh, yeah, this kid has this or has this OCD. Oh, you got this. You got that. That's funny. But I think it's just like another thing that, I'm sure it all existed, but you just didn't hear about it back then. Now it's just like whatever. Heavily medicate everybody. Keep them mind control, whatever, if you want to say that. Not necessarily mind control, but, just let's not cause any problems, because like crap like that. See, I don't even make any sense. But when I was a kid, my mom said that I was hyperactive and they wanted to put me on Ritalin, and she said, you're not doping on my son. So I got to thank my mom for that because I still get a little bit hyped up. I get really mad. Sometimes I get so upset. I feel like about to puke. And I actually have. I got so upset I've had to leave. Like I was playing a show one time, the Earwigs, and I drank a bunch of coffee earlier, some pretty bad black coffee. And anyways, I ended up right in the middle of my set. I had to run to the bathroom and puke. And I've done that quite a few times. I haven't had a problem as much as I used to up until, I don't know, maybe a month ago. I don't know, maybe if it's the medicine I'm taking, but I at least 2 times a week have woken up and my stomach has been violently nauseous, or I start talking, to my roommate, or I try to make a phone call, and all of a sudden it feels like an anxiety attack, but I feel freaking terrible, and I end up just throwing up, and then I feel really weak and horrible after that. But yeah, God, I don't know. Sitting there kind of staring at the ceiling. I've been reading a lot of H.P. Lovecraft again, one of my heroes. Read a lot of his short stories. Finally started watching that Coffin Joe set last weekend. It's freaking great. I can't remember the names of the movies I watched. I really don't. I don't remember the names of them. Hey, that's my show. I don't have the reference, but let's just say they're really good movies. Really weird. I've already seen 3 of them because I have the old DVDs with them, but I'm going to watch those. I'm going to watch all the ones I haven't seen first, and then I'm going to go back and, what was it? What was the name of the damn, I'm trying to remember. This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. And I can't, if you see Coffin Joe, you know what I'm talking about, but the first 2, I believe his first 2 films, but, the ones with the Coffin Joe character. And then, of course, Awakening of the Beast. Which is all about LSD, and it was a pretty interesting, odd movie. But, yeah, I'm really happy I got that. And recently discovered that pretty positive ex-roommate stole my Cheerleader Camp DVD, which is one of my favorite movies. So I'm like, well, that sucks, because I went upstairs and I was looking at it, and all of a sudden I'm like, this is weird. Open it. There's the J card, no DVD. I'm like, great. And I know for a fact that when I watched it a few years ago, I put it back up. I put it back in the case, put it upstairs. And if by some weird miracle it pops up, which I'm pretty sure it's not because the guy also took a bunch of my movies. I had to deal with, it's a big thing. I'll probably talk about the episode one of these days. I had to go to court. I had to go lived with Adam. My kiddies and I lived with him for like 2 months. I had to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit, and it was bullshit, from a very violent, obviously bipolar, schizophrenic roommate. Getting very violent. He used to be my friend. I considered one of my best friends, and then we ended up becoming roommates, and things got really, really, really bad. Well, anyways, he actually had the gall. Barely ever came back to the house. I came back like once during that 2 months, and oh, yeah, I borrowed a bunch of movies, but I put them back. He didn't. In fact, a bunch of them were in with his stuff before he came back to get a bunch of stuff back, which he was supposed to do the first time when I went to court. And the judge said, yeah, it'll be 2 hours. It's supposed to be 2 hours. I let the guy come back like 3 times to get his, more stuff. I was like, give me a break. But anyways, so I discover, a bunch of my movies mixed in with his. So it's like, oh, you're planning on taking a bunch of my movies? Well, thanks. I was really, really pissed off. Pissed off.
Hold it now. It's time for a B.C.A. music break, featuring the bizarre alien himself.
Hey, how you doing? Very upset, the opposite of being happy and satisfied in life. Because the internet is retarded for charging $50 a month to play a game that you paid $70 for. I was pissed off. Stupid Bill Gates and your rip-off tactics, dummy. I'll beat you up with your own glasses, stupid. So shut up.
Okay.
You fat face, fat dummy. Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
That was dedicated to my good friend Poopy from Sour Mash, because he was pissed off.
We now return to Beyond the Podcast of 1984 with the bizarre Charlie Alien.
Cheerleader Camp is one of my favorite 80s slasher films. It's Terry Weigel. Was it the big guy? I think it was Porky's. I don't know, the big guy, because he moons. There's a scene where he moons everybody's this giant ass. But anyways, it's one of my favorite movies. And I was like, what? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to look for it online. I'm sure it's not super expensive. I'll just get it again. You know what? No, yeah, starting at $30 plus and going up. And then all the cheap ones are these Region 3 DVDs, and those are all cheap. But it's if you have a player and it's under the name Bloody Pom Poms, it's no, I want it under its freaking original name, Cheerleader Camp. Well, anyways, I did break down and ordered it. I probably should have waited, but you know what, man? It just sucks. It's my freaking movie. So anyways, I'm supposed to get that any day now. And it's a really, really fun movie. It's kind of creepy. Reminds me a little bit of Sleepaway Camp. In that, of course it's at a camp, but this one's for these girls training their cheerleaders, and it's pretty good. It's one of my favorites. It has a pretty twisted ending. But what else? What else? Oh wow. Okay, we still get a little ways to go. Cool. But yeah, that really ticked me off. some other stuff disappeared. I can't remember right now. I'm trying to think one of my other movies. Oh yeah, I was like, no, I did find that Hellraiser 2. That I can't even remember where I found that, but I gave that to my roommate because I ended up getting the Arrow Films Blu-rays, the special editions of Hellraiser 1 and 2. That's all I need out of those because Hellraiser 3 and no thanks, blah. If you like them, that's fine. I don't. That's one thing that I haven't really talked about, stuff I don't really like. I don't know if that's a waste of time, but I don't know. Once in a while, I like to try to purge my mind of things I don't like. I can't stand the Scream films. I tried watching Final Destination. I think it was part 2. It was kind of okay. But there's no way I want to sit through all those. I'm just not really into like a lot of these like later 90s so-called horror films. I mean, that's fine. You know, people like them. But I don't see the appeal of Scream. I think Scream is just blah. The one what was it? The Urban Legend was terrible. There's one called Stay Alive. That was freaking terrible. And the only reason that I sat there, I borrowed it from a friend years ago on VHS. Sophia Bush, who I think is beautiful. That's why I finished that movie. I sat through the whole thing, but God, I thought it was just too slick and just not really scary and just dumb. The one movie I do really like from, I think it was in the late 90s or was the early 2000s, but I love Joyride. I think the first one was great. Second one was kind of entertaining. The third one was okay, but it's kind of funny. Like the killer, each time is played by a different actor, but it's supposed to be the same character, Rustin Nails. I'm gonna come after you. I'm Rustin Nails. But the first one, reminds me a little bit of Duel, except the driver of the truck doesn't talk in Duel. Duel rules. Duel is like, I think that's one of Steven Spielberg's greatest freaking movies of all time. It was like, I believe that was his first major film. It was made for television. Anyways, I love it. I love the original story by Richard Matheson. I love Richard Matheson. I'm a huge fan. I got a couple of his books at home. Blah, 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 blah. My brain's not working. Anyways, there's a lot. I refuse to watch, what's that stupid so-called remake? It's Kiyoshi Kurosawa, Pulse. So they did the U.S. version, which I think is funny. I mean, they got permission, obviously. That's what people don't understand. They get all pissed off, like, oh, I can't believe they ruined my movie. But the thing is, you always have the original, hopefully. Most of the time you do. And then sometimes when they do a remake of a movie, the nice thing is, and unfortunately not in all cases, but many a time they'll come out with a new special edition or re-release of the film that whatever the movie's, the remake of. But the thing I thought it was stupid about Pulse, also known as Cairo in Japan, not only did they do a so-called remake, which really had nothing to do with the original, they did 2 more sequels. And it's like the first movie was only one, it's a standalone movie. I was like, that's just dumb. And I think Kristen Bell is like gorgeous. I've always thought she was really, really hot. Nice actress, but just wow, something about her. Anyways, I'm like, God, I remember when I see the trailer for it, like theater downtown, I was like, wow. And no thanks. The Fog is a piece of crap. The remake, not the original. No, the original's awesome. Some CG bullshit like PG-13. I used to really like the Dawn of the Dead remake, and I gotta say, I watch part of it again, and kind of bored me. I don't know. I never thought I'd say that. I mean, I don't think it's the worst movie, but, seriously, compared to the original Dawn of the Dead, give me a break. All these freaking remakes, and then what was it? They did a Day of the Dead, which is like dog turd. I saw a couple minutes of it. It's freaking terrible. And then I bought a Day of the Dead, which I didn't realize. I thought, okay, I'll just get it because, it looks really stupid. It wasn't. It was a sequel to the remake of Day of the Dead. I'm like, what? Like, what a piece of crap. You know what? I didn't waste my time. I ended up gave it to somebody or sold it to somebody really cheap. I think I sold it. I was like, I don't want this piece of crap. But I'm not a big fan of a lot of remakes. I've never seen the remake of Dark Water with Jennifer Connelly. I love Jennifer Connelly, but I've never seen the remake. I don't really need to. That is a remake of The Eye, and The Eye is excellent, man. That is a really creepy, cool movie. I found that at a thrift store last summer. I think it was the end of summer. Brand new sealed. It was like a promotional copy. It's funny. It's like not for sale, but Oh, it was a really quality DVD. It was sealed. I got it for like $3. I watched it. And it was great. I was like, man, it was good. But I have no interest in a remake. And just all this freaking remake. Like, I'm not even a big fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I thought it was barely okay. The first time I watched it, I hated it. I watched it on fast forward. And I won't lie. I sat through it. I watched all the scenes of Jessica Biel in her sweaty, like, sleeveless t-shirt. I just thought it was like whatever. I didn't think it was that great. I actually liked it, but I watched it again and I liked it. But I did like the prequel because it was interesting because it wasn't any kind of remake. It was just their, story about, Leatherface. And I thought that one was actually pretty decent. Was it Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning? I like that one. I thought, what was it called? Chainsaw. I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, the one where Leatherface is supposed to be locked down in a basement for like 40 years. That one was barely all right. I didn't think much of it. I bought it. I was like, it was kind of okay. There's all these goddamn remakes, and then they do a direct sequel of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like 40 years later. Carol Ann Williams' character it's not even her because she died in real life. She passed away, unfortunately, but supposed to be her character, Sally, comes back for revenge. It's like, did she die in a freaking asylum? I heard nothing good about that movie. I have no interest. It's funny that it's all streaming only. I'm like, who cares? I don't care. It's like, give me a freaking break. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 kicks ass. I love that freaking movie. And people can say what they want, but I love Leatherface. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I think that movie is awesome with Ken Foree. That movie's great, man. I actually would really like to get that on Blu-ray. And I didn't mind the new generation. I mean, that, or next generation, whatever it's called. It is a cornball movie, but I'll tell you what. I'll take that any day over all these other freaking remakes of crap. At least it's kind of fun. I don't know why people call it a remake because it's completely different than the first one. You got Leatherface as like, kind of like drag queen, I guess, if you want to say. Where it's like a woman's face. And Matthew McConaughey's pretty funny, and Renee Zellweger is beautiful in it. There's this really hot Darla or something? She's totally hot. But anyways, I think it's a cheese fest, but it's fun. I'd like to get that on Blu-ray too. I have it on DVD. But my best friend, rest in peace, Mike, insisted that I borrow it several years ago, and I was laughing. I was like, this movie is so bad. I think I paid like $1.50 for it. I bought it at, it's one of the very last movies before Suncoast closed. I got it for like, did I get it for like that much? I remember I got a deal on it. Maybe it wasn't that cheap. Might have been like $2.50 or something. But anyways, I got it, and I like it. It's pretty bad, but it's fun, But yeah, the things that I don't like, I can't stand a lot of music nowadays. I think a lot of music, well, not even nowadays, but the last, like, God, I don't know, 20 years or more, just blah. There's a few songs that I admit have grown on me that I actually do like. I have no embarrassment. I like that song by Dua Lipa, Watch Me Dance, on the Barbie soundtrack. I think that's a cool song. I gotta say, I like a song by Madison Beer. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's kind of a cornball video. It's her friend shaking out, and she beats a guy, and at the end of the video, they're making out in the pool. And for some reason, I keep thinking of Gummo. But I like that song. I like a song by 50/50, the song Cupid. Those girls are just, God, they're cute. They're beautiful. It's not just that. The song is really catchy. But yeah, there's a few songs here and there that I like. I'm not one of those people like, oh, I only like old music. No, but for like newer stuff, not really. There's not really a lot that I really care for. But, I am stuck in my ways with a lot of stuff I like.
Hold it now. It's time for a B.C.A. music break, featuring the bizarre alien himself. We now return to Beyond the Podcast of 1984 with the bizarre Charlie Alien.
One thing that never lets me down is all my early 80s pop, that stuff. And I love that music. I mean, that's what I started with. Well, right before that, it was like, the radio, because I didn't buy tapes back then, because it was tapes and LPs. It wasn't CDs. So I could, going back to 78, 79. I'd hear once in a while Kiss, Queen, Blondie, Electric Light Orchestra, try to think, Foreigner, Blue Oyster Cult, just stuff like that. And I dig all that stuff, man. Because it's special. It just brings back great memories. And I was bands that, there's a lot of stuff I like. And then some stuff I'm just blah. Like certain bands, I'm real picky. Their early stuff kicks my ass, but you know what I mean? Some bands I like everything about them, like Twisted Sister. They're one of the very few bands that I like everything they've ever done. I love all Twisted Sister. I got a pretty crazy collection of their stuff. A lot of Twisted Sister. Some DVDs, I got live shows, all that. I love them. That's one of my favorite bands since 1984. And as I always tell people, I've been in SMF since 84, and I will continue to be one. I love those guys. Get a lot of Judas Priest, get a lot of Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath I'm very picky with. I think I'm missing one other Ronnie James Dio fronted version, but I'll tell you what, Ozzy and Dio, that's my favorite Black Sabbath. I cannot get into their later stuff, although I don't know if I pronounce it Gillian, I think it's Gillian, but the Born Again album, I still really want to get that in my collection. I like that stuff, but not a really big fan of Tony Martin era or any of that. What was it, Seventh Star? I used to have that cassette. Didn't hate it. I mean, I understand what you're doing, man. You keep your band going, whatever, people quit. All the main people quit. It's one guy. I just think that's kind of cheesy, though. It's Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi, Seventh Star. Did I just say Seventh Star? Oh, no, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't own the Seventh Star. I got it mixed up. I meant to say the Eternal Idol. That's the cassette I used to have. I think I bought that. I think I came out around the same time at Anthrax Among the Living, which I still love that album. I got that back in my life a couple of years ago, and that's my favorite. That's the best Anthrax, in my opinion. I think it's a fun album. Anyhow, yeah, I don't hate, literally hate, Black Sabbath with all those other singers, but I'm just not really a big fan. I mean, you listen to that later stuff, I'm just God, there's people, I've seen it online, people are oh yeah, man, that stuff with Tony Martin, that blew us away, Ozzy. I'm God, if you like AOR music, adult-oriented rock, to me, it's all kind of easy listening, but I also say to each, I don't know, if you like it, that's cool, man. I'm not going to trash on you. I don't care. I like a lot of stuff people don't like. People like a lot of stuff I don't like. People going on and on and on about, modern radio, man, auto-tune. I hate all that stuff. I think most auto-tune stuff is garbage. Sounds like crap. I think the only auto-tune song I like is, what's his name, saying On a Boat with the Lonely Island. T-Pain, that song's funny. That one fits, but I just didn't like it. I can't stand Taylor Swift. And I know people out there, you listen to this, but, oh my God, you don't like her. She's overrated. I'm sick of hearing about her every day. I get online, boom, her and her thinking football boyfriend, who cares? It's all they talk about. And then you go to alleged, so-called MTV, that's Nick Music or whatever that thing is. It's all Taylor Swift. I'm God, I used to not have a problem with her at all. I didn't care. I was she's beautiful. I can't even say that now. She's cute. Thing is, she's a beautiful girl. But you know what? I'm sick of hearing about her. I'm sick of freaking videos and people's obsessions with her, and oh, so you're a Swiftie. I'm yeah, Swift off, kiss my ass, whatever. It's just blah. But that's just my opinion, But I'm just tired of overrated people, like her. And I don't wish her any ill. I don't know her. Wouldn't ever meet her. She wouldn't have anything to do with someone like me anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, man, I don't know. Shoot. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes and then this episode's over. I don't know. Am I going to do another episode? I might just fill it up. I mean, I know you can record a lot of stuff on here. But yeah, I've just been tired. I don't know. Going on, it's just kind of waste of time even talking about stuff you don't like. I don't know. Waste of time, huh? Yeah, I think so. Probably bored out there. I'm getting bored myself, trying to think of what to talk about. Still doing the same job almost 30 years next month, February of 2024. Wow, ain't that great? I'm kind of stressed out. Every time I start feeling kind of sad when I'm by myself and it's all kind of quiet, I start thinking about stuff that makes me sad. It sucks. So I I better try to exercise my brain, like thinking about things that make me happy.
This is the last music break of Season 1. Please, put your ears out and listen to the tunes sung to you by the one and only, Bizarre, Charlie, Alien.
Here's a little song I wrote about a friend of mine that disappeared from the heavy metal scene. But I want to dedicate the song to you, man. I hope you like it. It's called Your Mustache Is All You Have. Your hair used to be long, and you had a real thick mustache and a beard right below your bottom lip. You used to drive your Camaro all around town and play heavy metal really loud. But then one day you grew up and you quit listening to that heavy sound, and all you got to remember is by the mustache on your face. Because when you gave up on heavy metal music, you shaved off the beard from your face now. And mustache is all you have. Don't you remember your heavy metal past? But your mustache is all you have. I'll never forget your mullet either. You used to headbang every day. You played Judas Priest on the radio waves, Motley Crue and Slayer, Anthrax and Pantera, back when they were a glam metal power metal band. And then one day you quit drinking that booze, cause you said heavy metal music makes you lose. So then one day you sold all your records to the local shop. And your mustache is all you have. When you look in the mirror you say, where's my beard, man? And all my heavy metal records got sold to a local record shop. Oh yeah, hit it. Motley Crue was blasting Shout at the Devil while you touched your slum. Now all you have to remember is the mustache on your upper lip. Cause now all you do is listen to rap and stupid shitty music that you think is hip, man. Mustache is all that you have. You used to have long hair, but now all you listen to is Sam I Am. You used to be a headbanger. You even got whiplash one day. And when you were in a hospital room, all your friends came to play your favorite heavy metal songs on a ghetto blaster. Oh, how the doctors gave you all dirty looks. But now, the only thing you have to remember is what's on your face. Cause your mustache is all you have. You used to have such long hair, but then one day you sold all your heavy metal records. Whew, those were the days, Mark. while you're standing out on the porch and you actually drink a PBR and you think back to those days. Man, I miss my Camaro car. You know, I remember listening to all the hard rock bands, heavy metal. Dawkins used to rock my world, man. But then one day you grew up and you did what your parents told you. You cut your hair, you changed your underwear, you took a bath for the first time in 6 months. That's 6 times 30 to 31. That's about 185 plus days. And then you remember the time you used to commit such petty crimes, selling marijuana to the local youth in the past group. You was full of poop. Your mustache is all you have. You think back to the old days, and somewhere across that horizon, you can hear a heavy metal thrashing guitar riff. But then you look at your wife and kids and say, "Oh, such a long time ago." Your mustache is all that you have left of your memories.
We now return to Beyond the podcast of 1984.
I know, just trying to get stuff done. Like getting some packages, hopefully. Actually, not hopefully, I have to get some packages done by this weekend to send them off. And I'm sorry, guys. My friend Brian, Bird Eater Entertainment, cool dude. Tim, Zach, Food from Sockeye, rest in peace. I'm trying to get back in touch with some old friends. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing that podcast this weekend or not. Maybe next week. I don't know, man. Nothing seems to plan out. You know what I mean? But all I know is I need to get some food, hang out with buddy John. Oh, God. Just life, man. I don't know. Some guy playing a piano, it looks like he's like about to fall asleep or something. He's getting aroused. I don't know how that is, though. You play an instrument, you get really excited. I do that with my guitar. I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel it, man. Especially when I'm figuring something out. This episode's definitely all over the place, but what episode isn't? And one thing, did I say this at the beginning of the episode? I'm not going to apologize if I'm not to the point about anything. It doesn't matter, because if you know me in real life, I'm kind of like that, man. I don't know if I'm repeating myself. Maybe it's the stuff I said on the version that I erased. But anyhow, I try to be okay. Getting a lot of people really ticking me off lately in public, around my workplace. Rude people, which I'm really sick and tired of, especially when, there's no explanation of why they have to be assholes or bitches or whatever their deal is. It's like, whatever, fuck off. Oh, no, I said fuck off. Well, I did, fuck off. But I'm trying to do okay in life. I'm trying to just get things done. Trying to work on some new art. Trying to do a new comic the other night, and it all sucked. I was just too tired. I've been tired because I got too much starch in my system lately. I need to just... more fruits and vegetables. I really need to get serious about that, and I haven't. And sometimes I feel like I'm just going to feel like Alex in a Clockwork Orange. I feel that something very horrible is about to happen. I feel that at any moment, whatever, how that scene goes, and then he falls face first into a spaghetti. I feel like that sometimes that's going to happen. Hopefully not. If it does, if I ever just go, at least I've left a lot of stuff behind. Who knows what's going to happen to all my stuff, but as far as my art, but it seems like when someone passes away, like my best friend, when he passed away, his family actually threw away all of his art and his pens and stuff, and I was really ticked off. I took all that stuff out of the garbage. I was ranting. It was like 1:30 in the morning. But I took all the stuff out of the garbage, and they kept all the stuff that they could sell. And I mean, I kind of understand, trying to hopefully sell all that stuff, with his funeral. It was like 12 years ago, longer than that now, I think, but yeah, it's been going. It's been a while, buddy. But anyways, I was thinking about Mike and Wayne and Gigi and just all these people that, my friends and people I admire that have passed away. And I'm like, I gotta just, it's not that I quit. I haven't quit, but I'm having a hard time. I'm writing notes. You can probably mention that. We get a Blu-ray coming out this year. So a couple of movies that I did way, way, way back. I'm writing notes for Tim about, what needs edited in. Thankfully, not a lot of stuff, but having fun with that. I did that yesterday morning for A Beautiful Day, which we did in 1996. It's me, Tim, and Adam. And then I'm going to do Death Wears Black, a.k.a. Death Wears a Gas Mask. And we got another one, a short zombie one that Adam and I did. And unfortunately, Tim is definitely going to have to take the music off that. I think it'd be cool just to have a bunch of weird, creepy sounds and stuff, because what's on there is like the unreleased Hellraiser themes, and we definitely can't use that because that's like copyrighted. But anyways, I don't think it'd be a problem, just going over it, suggesting to Tim some of this cool new music he's doing, especially if he's got something that's kind of morbid sounding, or I don't know, maybe even one of my old TGE songs or something, if he's got any of that, something because I don't know, it's actually a little cooler than I remember watching. It looks like an old movie with lions go out there. It looks kind of like I want to say a snuff film. That's pretty bad, but not that I've seen one, but it just looks like really old footage. Oh, Jesus. Beautiful classical musician woman. God dang. Oh, anyway, sorry. But yeah, so we're put that, and so I'm definitely being creative. I'm just kind of slow with if I can figure out my stuff, my 4-track Zoom, and maybe actually really learn how to do it, I could record stuff again. And I've got a bunch of unreleased Earwig stuff that I'm hoping to get together soon. I got to figure all that crap out. And this episode's about over. So yeah, I'm just kind of rambling here, and got a couple minutes and then it's over, because each episode here, as you know, is like 40 minutes. And I hope you enjoy my show. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, that's great. But it's not like the end of the world. My brain doesn't work. I'm just tired, man. But sometimes I have a hard time thinking straight. But anyways, I'm doing stuff. I was saying earlier, not really doing much. I kind of am. I'm like kind of half and half, but I'm having a hard time. I need to just get things going. I say that every time, but it doesn't always work. I just got to do it instead of saying it. And that's just me, So I guess that's about it. Like to say hi to Nancy Wilson from Heart. I got a like from her on Instagram one night, and that was really cool. Now, Nancy, you're not my dream woman, but I always thought you were beautiful. As far as my dream woman goes, if you hear this, I'm waiting for you. I'm still waiting for you. I haven't had a dream about you in a long time. Bums me out, makes me sad. I hope you will show up one of these days and we can take over the earth, or at least just get the flip out of here and go somewhere else, Anyways, this has been Charles the Bizarre Alien from outer space saying, thanks for listening to my show. I'm out of here, so stay sick, take care, don't forget to change your underpants and keep the filth. Bye.
Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.